if you were to be death and let's say I was the victim, how would you kill me?
Right now?
Right now.
Oh my gosh.
Something with the microphone and the lights.
Yeah, with one of the lights.
On you.
There's lots of things that could tip over. You know, I've got a water bottle right here that, you know, could become deadly.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
How are you?
John.
Good. So, Kaitlyn, your character, Steph, she has that, she can tell when things about to happen.
Yeah.
And so I guess for each of you, if you were to be death and let's say I was the victim, how would you kill me?
Right now?
Right now.
Oh my gosh.
Something with the microphone and the lights.
Yeah, with one of the
falling
lights.
on you.
Somebody's gonna spill their coffee over there onto some cords. There's gonna be an explosion. It's gonna pop that light right there, and it's gonna hit that mic, and it's gonna impale you through the skull.
Through the skull. Ooh, all right.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's how it works.
You're on
Yeah.
it. You're like,
It's called method acting.
yeah. And also, I think in the movie there is a message, even though it's like horrifying in general, but it's about life is being too short, and with the time you have left, just enjoy it. And let's say, for example, tomorrow's your last day. What would you do? Start with you, Teo.
I mean, I just spend it with my family. What else are you gonna do? They're the most. My family's the most important thing to me, so I'll spend it with my family.
I was gonna say I'm taking my family to Disneyland. I'm going out.
You're spending your last day at Disneyland?
Yeah, girl, I'm going out on a ride. Are you kidding me? Dying by log ride with my whole family with me. Are you
Well, there's
kidding
no
me?
log ride anymore.
Yeah, there is.
No, they
switch it?
They replaced it with Princess and the Frog.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Dying by Princess and the Frog. Could you imagine all of us? If I'm going, they're all coming with me. You know,
yeah.
down the ride.
No, I'm putting my body in the ocean with my family at some point and a really good meal.
Yeah.
Disneyland.
Disneyland. I'm not coming with you. I love you.
It's fine. That's fine.
So speaking of logs, the logs make it's like a tease, and I'm not going to say much about it, but for each of you, is there like a thing in the franchise where you're like, I don't want to be around this because of the Final Destination movies?
I mean, the logs.
Yeah.
That's one of them for sure.
I stay away from log trucks for sure on the road, and I think most of the world does too. You never
think
see
so, too.
anyone driving
No.
behind them.
No.
No, log trucks I think are the big ones. You know, you maybe
Garbage
take a breath and
disposals.
think twice before you drive across a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I almost like accept my fate. Like I'm like, if this is how I go, I guess I'll accept it.
And then for me, after watching the movie, I get paranoid of my surroundings, and I'm like careful on how I walk. I almost tripped like some stairs, and I was wondering on the set if there was fear being on the set.
There were a couple days and moments.
Yeah.
I mean, just with like, there's so much happening on a set. There are so many people there. I mean, it's crazy. Like, there's
There's
a lot
lots
of
of
people.
room for
there's lots
disaster.
of room. There's anything could happen,
Yeah.
honestly. So yeah, of course.
And out of the three of you, who's like the most afraid or the most cautious?
It's probably you, yeah.
I think it's me.
Why is that?
I'm kind of a scaredy cat.
And yet you're the lead.
Yeah. I mean, I also like, it's me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And what I love about this movie is like the family aspect, and I think that just elevates the story more because now you care. I care about your characters, and I don't want them to die. But it's Final Destination, so who knows what can happen? And so let's say reading the script, like how does that affect you?
I mean, reading the script. I read it as a fan the first time.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
that was I mean, it was a page turner, of course.
I think what you said, it really deepens the movie. It gives it a really big heart, which is surprising. It's not, these movies are built on the idea of cheering for death, really. Right? But all of the movies before have been strangers, work partners, maybe friends from school, but suddenly it's family. It makes it harder to just cheer for death.
Yeah.
Right? I think the stakes are higher, the heart is bigger.
How's it going, guys?
Great to meet you.
Yeah. So your background, you've done recently a lot of the family-friendly type projects with Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, and now you're going to this R-rated stuff where maybe a rock can be the end of you.
That's right.
So what was that like in just doing something that's just bloody and violent, and then before that it's like happy and family friendly stuff.
Exactly.
We our true love is this genre kind of movies. But it's when we were starting out, we got a lot of work in the family space, which was great, and we learned a lot. Our movie Freaks that came out a few years ago, that was kind of R-rated, grounded family thriller that really was the kind of thing we love to make. But working on Fraggle Rock with the Henson people was also such a fun delight, and very complicated to figure out. You don't realize how complicated the special effects are, the practical special effects are when you work with until you work with Jim Henson, and the brain teaser of, well, how do you get the puppets to do this when their hands don't work, and little things like that definitely helped us when it came to doing the practical effects on this movie, which is all about the magic tricks of how to kill people in fun and fascinating ways, practically as much as possible.
There was a lot of puppets, if you will, of bodies with brains and guts and all sorts of things that had to be puppeteered in a very similar way.
Oh yeah, and after working on this, I'm pretty sure your imagination on how to end a person's life is like crazy. Like for example, right now, if you can, I don't know, I'll put you on the spot. Like, come up with an idea to like kill me.
Yeah, well, there's microphones hanging above us. There's lights hanging above us. Basically, you don't want anything hanging above you if you're in a Final Destination movie. There's lots of things that could tip over. I've got a water bottle right here that could become deadly.
And cables going to those lights. I could see a light bulb going right down inside of your eye socket and electrocuting your head from the inside out. That would be pretty good.
And after working on this, because I feel like there's a lot of kills. There's no limit to like how far you guys go, and I don't know if there was a challenge for that and just stopping yourself or
no, we never had to stop ourselves. In fact, as fans of Final Destination, we just imagine that when you're buying a ticket to see Final Destination, you want to see some crazy shit that you would have never seen in any other movie or TV show or anything. You're expecting the next level of sort of creative deaths and gore and things like that, and we just tried to think of crazy things that people had never seen before, and at no point did we ever have to dial that down. In fact, when we showed the movie to audiences initially when we were editing, they wanted even more, and so we went back and shot even little sweeteners of little moments.
New Line was so supportive of that dynamic. Just give the audience as much craziness as possible, because that's why they're coming to see a Final Destination movie.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned there's new stuff, but there's also old stuff, and I hate you guys for this because of the logs.
That's right.
And you guys bring it back, so it's like there's a tease.
We don't, without spoiling anything, we can say there will be logs.
Yeah.
And the fun of making this movie for the fans was really playing with expectations. There's a moment where a character walks backwards into the middle of a street, and everyone in the audience is going, no, don't do that. And kind of milking all those moments for the fans and drawing on what the best of the franchise had to offer in order to then pull the rug out from under them and make them, maybe you don't know what's going to happen here.
Oh yeah, and I think there is a message with this movie, and I think it's that life is short, and try to do whatever, enjoy the moment you have left. And I think for you, like, let's say if tomorrow is your last day, what would you do?
What would I do? I would get all the few hundred of my favorite people together and watch my favorite movie and laugh and scream and cry together. And that sounds like a pretty good way to go.
Yeah, spending time with friends and family. We're doing an amazing premiere of this movie at the Chinese Theater on Monday night. I can't imagine a better way to go out than be surrounded by friends and family, at the Chinese Theater.